This is a video to help anybody who either was absent or is just kind of struggling so far with Punnett Squares to kind of help you get back on track and understand what's going on. So this is the first page of your practice packet that we got in class. If you read the top, it goes through an example of rabbits. It basically talks about everything we discussed in class. So we're going to talk about this first. So what you're looking at here is a bunch of information about a family of rabbits. And it gives you some things to think about. So this word dominant is really important to know because what a dominant gene is basically it means the capital letter. So that gene is normally going to be expressed. So what ends up happening is that when we have a set of genes that you get from your parents, for example, this capital B, or capital B, lowercase b, you get one gene from each parent. So you might get this one from mom and this one from dad. Because you're inheriting those traits, they're going to represent something that you can see. And the dominant gene is the one that's always going to be expressed. So if there is a capital letter there, that means it's always going to be shown. So in this case, you have rabbits where black fur is the dominant gene to white fur. So since we have a capital B here, we know that male was dominant for black fur. And since we have this capital B here, we know that female was also black fur because she has that dominant gene. The other kind of gene is called recessive. And that means that it's like a lowercase letter, and it means that it can be hidden by the dominant trait. It not always is, though. We'll get there. So in this first example, you have a cross between those two different rabbits, and it shows you in the Punnett Square here. So this is what's called a Punnett Square. And this is a tool for showing the probability that a trait is going to be passed on. So for example, we have this male, I believe it was, the dad on the top of your Punnett Square and the mom on the side. So when you cross those, each one of these boxes represents a potential offspring and what genes they would have. And then the table below that shows a breakdown of what those genes mean. So the genotype, the best way I can think for you to remember genotype is that you're looking at the actual genes. So each one of these sets of letters is a gene for a trait. Each individual letter is an allele for that gene, which just means a variety of the gene. So the genotype, you're literally just writing exactly what you found in the Punnett Square, right? We have capital B, we have that up there. We have capital lowercase, we have that up there. The phenotype is what it looks like. And that you're usually going to have to go back and reference that reading up at the top. So it says black fur is dominant to white fur. So in both of these cases, we have capital B lowercase b, and we have capital B capital B. So both of those rabbits are going to have black fur because they have at least one copy of that dominant gene. When it comes to the percent chance, that is more about counting how many squares. Depending on your comfort level of percentages, you might just know that it's 50-50. If you're not sure, what I usually do is I count boxes. So you're always going to have 4 boxes for these types of Punnett Squares. So we know that 2 out of 4 rabbits had capital B, right? These two right here. So once you do that, that breaks down to 1/2 or 50%. And then it's the exact same thing for the bottom. And we'd like you to express that in a percentage.